You take it. Stand up. You better stand up. You better stand up. You gonna come to mama? The biggie. Are you a big girl? Oh, Kaboopy. Kaboopy doopy, what did you do? Kaboopy doopy. Hi.
Hi.
She waves. I swear she does.
Oh, well, she's not going to do it for you.
We were at the mall the other day, and this woman waved at her in her little stroller, and she's like,
oh, yeah.
You know, sugar.
What are you doing?
The big girl. The big girl.
Huh?
Come on, let's go.
Guys.
Let's go.
I'm going to go potty, and I'm going now.
Okay, I want to Let's go. Let's go.
Kai running around. What do you guys think of the sand castle?
I checked it out pretty good when he first got here.
Yeah. Kind of hard to make it out. Half of it's dry and half of it's wet. I can't hear the thing running. I don't know whether anybody's watching this or not. I can't see whether it's on record. Now it's recording. Wouldn't you know it? Okay, we'll pretend we just did this. Now we are recording. Ocean, waves, sky, people. You could come up here and sit on the bench and just watch the ocean face for hours at a time.
You can take off your shirt, your coat if you want. Oh my God. You want it on? Let's just
I want to go again. You're running. I can't understand. I'm taking shots and I don't think I'm taking shots. I can't see the thing whether it's on record or standby. And so probably got lots of shots in my shoes.
eating it. What I got at the
It should be on record now, so
Are you recording now?
yeah, I'm recording.
This is my big boo-boo I got.
I'm getting a really, really close up of it. You won't.
Girl, you pretty. You see it? Big girl. Look Dad and Grandpa, they are the best of friends.
Don't you think you're hot stuff? Play some more. Use both hands.
Let's see. Come here,
Ooh, that's good. Did you do that?
My other breath broke.
Okay, we're very sorry. Your grandma's a big klutz.
I got another breath.
You got some upstairs, didn't I get you some other ones?
Yeah.
There you go.
A snake one.
Oh, I made one. There's no snake.
Playing by ear. No, I don't want to watch the TV. I want you guys to sing and dance and hippity hop around and kiss each other and dance together and wave at the camera. You're sitting there like a bunch of stooges. Come on, do something. Dance, sing. That's what we want to do. Act duncy. Yeah. That's better, that's better. Okay, enough. Don't overdo it now. I got. What have I started? I said, what have I started? Okay. This is Multnomah Falls, according to our expert parents, the #1 tourist attraction in Oregon. You want to walk up to the bridge? These are some of the tourists. It's only the #1 tourist attraction. Backing it down from bottom to top. The view from about halfway down into the pool. I'm trying to find the pool in the river. Oh, restaurant place, huh? Mom says look up, so I will look up. The gravel replacement patrol. Cruising along the Columbia River bottom gorge. Lots of nice mountains in the background. Yeah. Pretty soon. I'm talking to the camera. We're going to get to see the river itself. Can't get high enough to see the river. There it is. There it is. Off in the future. If I was a true Kansan, I'd say. Huh? I'm talking to the thing again. If I was a true Kansan, I would say, why don't they cut down those trees? They're blocking the view. See why they call it a gorge? I'm talking to the camera again. Cruising up the Columbia gorge. Three gorgeous people in front of us. This here is Washington. Those are
As the pioneers came west, they're actually ill-equipped for this journey. They had a tendency to bring too much in the way of family heirlooms and not enough in the way of the real supplies they're going to need to travel 2,000 miles in 6 months. Well, they're pulling one of the nets up here in front of us off the platform to see how that net works there now.
oh yeah.
One lady wrote in her journals that she could have started several furniture stores just with furniture, just with these wagons as they came across the plains. So by the time they got here to the Cascades, they were in pretty tough shape out of food and out of clothing. But fortunately for the first year's migration, the British did have an influence here. Hudson Bay Company established Fort Vancouver in 1824. John McLaughlin was their chief actor there. Well, McLaughlin knew the Americans were coming to claim this land for the U.S., but he was still a benevolent man. He got word in 43 there was a park here. So he sent his French Canadians on up to assist them around the rapids, down to Fort Vancouver, where he fed them and clothed them and set up in the Willamette Valley for that first winter. How's they got a steelhead maybe there? Starting to move upriver now. And still a lot of...
Actually, we already got pictures of the boat while you guys were loitering around. We just.
Oh, is it?
This is the Bridge of the
Do you know
Gods.
the God story to tell your folks? I don't know it well enough to tell.
I don't know it all.
Mountains were created.
Most of what we know of the pioneers as they came through here comes from their diaries. One of the diaries we read is
The Bridge of the Gods.
Year came through in 1847. When they arrived in the Dalles, they planned on going over the Barlow Trail. But the Barlow was Smith, Garrett, and her children. She had 7 of them, once the babe in arms, to get their wagon over this trail. She said that her and the children were in mud and snow up past her knees. Her legs and feet became so cold and numb she could no longer feel them. Her and the children gave out from fatigue the first couple of nights they got out over the portage. Wouldn't even look back at the wagon for fear of turning over on this crude trail. So it was the worst trail they'd encountered the entire journey. But eventually they made it down to the lower rapid where a week later they'll have to get a vessel that would get into Portland. But her husband too became ill while helping the Pope family through here. And a week after arriving in Portland, he died due to exposure to the elements. So the time of year they arrived here and the amount of effort spent to get through the Cascade Mountain Range claimed a lot of lives in the last part of that trail.
I haven't seen much
The area we're just coming up into, a large eddy created from swirling effect of the worst rapids that took a north and south shore run above the bridge. Heavy current across the river, whirlpools in the center. Over here, real strong upstream flow of water. And the deepest water we're in today is out in this eddy, 120 feet of water. Now, these rapid systems also claim their share of lives. An example of that was the Applegate Party. They came over in 1843 during the first Great Migration, built their vessels up where Walla Walla Washington is today, and came downriver from there. But in coming through the Narrows up by the Dalles, one of their vessels was drawn into a massive whirlpool, completely submerged. They lost 2 of their children and a friend of their family in that incident. But just an example of what happens to any pioneers coming down this river. The vessels they built were extremely crude, difficult to maneuver, and the people operating them were not used to these kind of water conditions. Here at the Cascades, if you got caught in the influence of currents getting into these rapids before you got to shore above them, there were some tremendous water hydraulics going on here. You weren't going to survive these. This is one of the reasons why they went to the Barlow Trail. It was the fear of the river and the bottleneck created by it. Sam Barlow got in the Dalles in late 1845. Saw there was going to be a couple of weeks to get a raft built. Speculators were taking advantage of the pioneers with cost of goods and services.
Bokus, this is the most really treacherous part of the river where it narrows and eddies and currents drive people crazy. I missed the story, but up there on that mountain is a chief and his wife. These are kite boarders. If you can make it out, the kites are pulling the guys on the board, and at times they lift off and become airborne.
Behind us and to the left over there on top of the hillside is Green Lodge, a 180-room hotel convention facility. 18-hole championship golf course behind that.
Closer view of kite boards. And a few sailboats. That guy's airborne. More train. More kiteboarding. Hope you can see this in the movies. It doesn't look like much here.
No, just if they were concerned about it, they have to.
Well, can't really see what he's doing, but he has been airborne from time to time. Whoops. boat just docked at Stevenson's Landing. Guy may or may not get up on his windsurfing vehicle and take off like a shot. Here he goes. Boy, you can hear the wind blow.
Lava in the canyon. In many places, completely damming the river. Two known locations were at Blood River and near Camp.
This bump here is in the middle of a great bowl that was formed about 2 million years ago. I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know just how. But it's really a beautiful, beautiful sight. I guess the paddles were really driving this ship after all. I didn't believe it at first. They seem to be doing the job. We are putting about and heading back to home.
That little place is I was just doing what your mother told me.
Observatory at Crown Point. It's so bright up here I'm shooting blind. But this is the whole darn Columbia River Valley. Doesn't it seem like? It's possible. Depends on your VCR. Take two. The first take didn't go very well because I had the cover on the lens. This is the Columbia River Gorge. And it's gorgeous dust, and that's not even a pun. I'm probably not panning real well, but it is a breathtaking view.
Good.
You probably can't see the mountains in the background for the fog. Classic. Colorful cars.
I do hope
Barge going up the river. Big deal, huh?
kids. I wish we could have traveled more when our kids were little.
Hey, Dad!
Too close up to Otto.